Hi Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I am going to be doing your April 2020 full moon reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and also to subscribe to my channel. Now before we dive in to this beautiful full moon, which is so perfect for this chaotic and, overwhelming time, I want to say that all these readings are coming from a place of light, love, and positivity to rise us up instead of bringing our energy vibration down, which it is so easy to fall into that trap, especially during this time. All right, so let's get started. We're going to be moving your Moonology, there we go, your Moonology cards and your Queen of the Moon cards over to the side. These will be layered on top of the tarot so that Luna can really speak for herself and you can really get this beautiful idea of how your emotional state will be affected by the moon, by Luna. Yeah. So let's see now what the tarot has to say. And then I have the moon all set up right here. How will Scorpio be affected by the April 2020 full moon? How will Scorpio be affected by the April 2020 full moon? How will Scorpio be affected by the April 2020 full moon? And this is just a brilliant moon for you. I can already tell. Okay, let's see. Show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly. All right. So we have the Eight of Cups, a walking away from something you once thought you would love. And then you have the Temperance card, balance. This is a Sagittarian energy, a time frame of November 22nd to December 21st. Then you have the Magician. Oh, I love it. The Eight of Swords. You have the repeat of the number 8, so this is going to be a very serious time for you. Nine of Cups. You're also walking into eternity. You're kind of, you're seeing something more. The Queen of Cups, that's you right there. You're represented by the cups in the minor arcana, by the death card in the major arcana. Then we have the Six of Wands, victory and success. The 10 of Wands, you're completing a cycle. The Hermit, which has been coming up time and time again for this, chaotic period. And yes, with isolation and everything like that, the Hermit is what we're living right now. But also the time frame of Virgo is important, August 23rd to September 22nd. I keep on getting it and it keeps on having a relevance. And then you have Judgment. You have your angels right here with you. And that's going to be astoundingly powerful for you, Scorpio, because you are the type of person who sees the grays of it all. And you are also, and by that, what I mean is that people like to have the world in categories. They like a white page and black ink. So either you are a page or you are the ink, and people can, kind of put people into categories very easily. You, Scorpio, see what that ink can do on the page, and you see what shading can do to a picture, how it can bring it to life. And you see the hidden life behind things, if that makes sense. I hope it does, because what I'm seeing here is such a power that you're embracing during this time of Libra. So this is a Libra full moon, and you are very good in a Libra time frame because Libra comes right before you, Scorpio. And then you are sandwiched in between Libra and Scorpio and Sagittarius, Scorpio. So here you have that energy where you feel very much at home in it. Now, April is also a really cool month because we have like all these major holidays happening in April, and that doesn't always happen. So there is a powerful spiritual energy to April that we're bringing forth during this time. And also with the April full moon, it is in Libra, which is guided by the goddess Venus, which is guided by love, moving us forward. And April is a time of Mars. So Venus and Mars in ancient mythology, this is Roman mythology, but also in Greek mythology, where they were named Ares and Aphrodite, they were lovers. So here, this energy calls to each other, this energy of force and of power and of being in the here and the now and present on this earthly plane, and the energy of love and sensuality and connection with emotions. So here, with this moon, you are going to find it astoundingly powerful for you. It's a calling on power, and it's also a surrendering to the divine. Now, the divine for this time is Mars and Venus, that we are seeing ourselves kind of being led by. Mars is, of course, the god of war, which means that we are prepared for battle. And wouldn't you say that this time is a time where a battle is being ranged, and we are seeing the results of it. And then we have love coming in, which is calming us, soothing us, and saying, yes, you are doing all that you can. You are most definitely doing your part. And that could be simply by staying at home. And then you are going to see the love calling to you, moving you forward, and bringing you towards something more. And there's a sense here of moving towards a grounding, moving towards a sensuality, a focus. And this happens at the new moon, which we'll get to in just a little bit. But as you call on power and as you surrender to this divine force, you find yourself being protected. And this is because, well, first and foremost, this is the egg moon, which I just love for this time, where you have the woman right here in this egg. You have this duck sitting on top, kind of taking care of everything. This is a supermoon. We have come out of a supermoon. We'll be going into another supermoon in May, and I believe we had a supermoon before this. So this is like we're in a time of 4 supermoons, and this is a time of attracting to us what is needed as we are protected, as we embrace love, as we're calling forth on this power, and as we're clearing out what no longer belongs. Also, this is also called the pink moon, which I love because pink is my favorite color. So I found that to be very sweet too. And then we have the full moon in Libra, which is a win-win outcome is forecast. It's a balancing of the scales. Now, this is a time where you're going to see relationships that are emotionally out of balance being called into balance, being called into harmony. And that's where the energy of this goddess, or you can simply say of Venus, is really coming into play. And this is really going to call to you, Scorpio, because the month of May is ruled by Venus. And the full moon in May is you, is Scorpio. So this energy of Venus is going to be really calling to you. Now, it can be an increase of sexual power, most definitely, which if you're stuck at home all by yourself can be frustrating, absolutely. But using this energy as a creative force to guide you forward would be highly beneficial to you, to move you towards power and beauty, and to have you creating balance within your life. Also, taking care of yourself, self-pampering is going to be something that just makes you feel more in line with the world, with happiness, with joy. It's going to be like kind of like having little at-home spa days if you can, or even just making sure, and I know this sounds really funny and you might say, oh Dane, that's so minimal, but even just making sure you get into the shower every day and you don't let everybody else's responsibilities fall on your shoulders and be like, oh, okay. I mean, I know it for me, like sometimes you just don't eat until everybody else is taken care of, everything is done, and you might sit there and say, okay, well, having a meal doesn't take very long. But when you're putting all this weight upon your shoulders and you're saying, oh, well, I have to do this and I have to do that, and I'll just handle me last, it becomes hard to get there. So here it's saying, remember to get there, because it's going to be so easy to think I should be doing more. Because with the supermoon, it says emotions are running high. And that makes perfect sense because winter has turned into spring. In the southern hemisphere, summer has turned into fall. And emotionally, there's an impact on that on us, which is really saying I should be doing more. And especially, if you're seeing things becoming nicer or, things are getting a bit more cozy, you're going to sit there and be like, okay, I should be preparing for something more. I should be doing more. And it might actually feel like the world is kind of conspiring against you to keep you stuck and keep you inside and keep you from doing more. And yeah, it kind of is. It kind of is, because this is a time where the world is saying we have to slow down. We have to stop. And as we slow down and as we stop, we're really going to boil away what isn't of relevance to us, but is just kind of busy work. And so here, with the feeling like we should be doing something more and kind of wanting to run ourselves in the ground, because emotionally that's just the feeling that is going around, it leads to frustration and it can lead to exhaustion. And oh my gosh, have I felt that exhaustion? And I know many people have. So it's very much looking at things and saying, all right, I know that if I push myself too hard, instead of being able to help more people, I'm just going to be drained dry. So you don't want to be drained dry. You want to be able to really give that energy and move yourself forward. And the first place that really comes into play is with balancing your own scales and moving forward in an emotionally healthy and profound relationship with yourself. And that's what this time is calling us to do. And as it calls us to have that emotionally truthful, relationship with ourselves, we are going to see that when we enter into the Taurus new moon on the 22nd of April, we're going to see new beginnings coming. Why? Because we've changed the kind of landscape of our mind. We've also brought forward what was out of balance and said, you know what, this is a time where I am focusing on compassion, where I am focusing on beauty, on balance, on love. And that's leading you to a new place of being. That's leading you to a whole new world. And as it leads you to this new world, Scorpio, you are entering into a time where prosperity lies ahead. And from the 21st onward, you are going to be seeing that this prosperity is something that you're called to. It can be that you're looking at your life and saying, why am I keeping myself small? Why aren't I going after dreams? Why am I, looking at things in a negative light or in a light that makes me feel like I'm not doing enough? It's time to move towards prosperity. It's time to move towards abundance. It's time to say, okay, this isn't for everybody else. This is for me. And as you do so, you have a new start coming. And you really are kind of taking the bull by the horns, no pun intended, actually a little bit of a pun intended here, and going after your dreams. And what's beautiful about this Libra and this Taurus energy coming together is what we have here is, elementally, we have the air, the earth, and then we have water with you, Scorpio, coming into play. Air molds the earth. Water molds the earth. So this practicality of the roots is going to be very important, but through your mind and through your heart, you are going to be molding it to what you desire, to the way that you want to start living your life, and the way that you want to be living your life. By the time the Scorpio full moon comes in May, you have made some really intense decisions. You have looked at things in a new light. You have reevaluated. And this is saying it's time to release negativity. It's time for that purge. This Libra time frame here and this Taurus energy has really let you see what is needed to balance your scales, what is needed to make you feel at home and comfortable within yourself. You're finding that balance. And then with this Taurus energy, you're being practical about it, you're being sensible, and then you move forward into releasing the negativity, into kind of like this big purge. And you can think of it as actually kind of like renting a dumpster and just throwing away everything, or going to the dump and just throwing away everything that has been weighing upon you, that has been making you feel as if you can't move forward properly. It's kind of like this weight upon your shoulders, and that has you blossoming in the flower moon. Because in May, we enter into the flower full moon. And as you do so, you are blossoming forward. And you're going to see that you start to sing your own song. You start to be drawn to the energy that resonates from your heart. And you're going to see that people with the emotional vibration, as you, really started to be attracted into your life. Now, it doesn't mean that you're going out. You might, be on lockdown. Your state or your country might say, for this amount of period, we're closing down, which, they have. And so here, this is very much saying that it can be that you're finding people online. It can be that you're talking to people more on Skype or, just on the telephone or through text. And as you do so, you find that you're drawn more to people with the same energy vibration as you. That's why it's going to be very important to keep your vibrational level high, especially during a time of chaos where everybody can be kind of overwhelmed by it all. And so here, you keep your energy vibration high, you stay true to yourself as you move forward, and you find yourself going towards your grace and going towards your beauty. Now, for the month of April, the totem animals for April are the hawk and the wolf spirit. Now, these are really cool because both of these are not birds, but both of these are predator animals. You have a bird of prey and we have the wolf. And the wolf, captivates the human imagination almost like no other. And we ourselves, as humans, we are the best sight hunters, second only to birds of prey. So that is really neat here, that energy is coming in. So we have pack animals. We ourselves are pack animals. We need to have that social construct. And then we have this clear-sightedness that is coming forward. So with the hawk as a totem animal, it's about spiritual awakening. It's about observation. It's about visions. Listen to your dreams during this time. All right, you might find that you might be sleeping restlessly because you have a lot on your mind. But also, as you address things, as you kind of contemplate yourself in the morning, as you're getting ready, you might sit there and say, why? Why is this going on? Or what is making me feel overwhelmed? And then pinpointing it and saying, okay, you know what? I have to purge that from me, or I have to have that conversation with someone and I don't really want to have it, but it's going to be very important. And trusting then, as you purge away the negativity, that you are moving towards a higher sense of vision and a higher ability to follow your instinctual, nature. And here it says, let spirit be your guide, because that is who's guiding you. Your spirit guides, your angels, are really moving you forward, and it moves you towards the wolf spirit, which says, turn knowledge into wisdom. Knowledge becomes your wisdom, because with the wolf, it is sharpened intellect, it is strong instinct. And as you embrace your sharpened intellect and your strong instinct, you are moving forward. There's also a sense, I just keep on hearing that beautiful wolf call. It's also the sense of your spirit calling out to more. So there can be, you being very drawn to meditations, like group meditations and things like that, or just connecting with people that you haven't been in contact with for some time. There's going to be a sense here for you, Scorpio, with kind of connecting with your pack. And it can also be that intellectually you connect with thoughts, ideas, art that really speaks to you and that you are gaining inspiration off of. This leads you to the beaver spirit and then the elk spirit, but I didn't have an elk in my deck, so we have the antelope spirit right here. And the beaver spirit and the antelope spirit, not the antelope, the elk spirit, the beaver spirit is about ingenuity and persistence. It's like, I will not be held back. And in May, that's going to be really your thing. It's like, I'm not going to be held back. I'm moving forward. I'm going after what I need. And here with the beaver spirit, it says, lay a solid foundation. A solid foundation is going to be paramount for you. And then with the elk spirit, it's strength, it's stamina, it's endurance and patience of relationships and patience in relationships. And so with the antelope spirit, I thought the message was beautiful when it says life is speeding up, because it is. And it's speeding up towards your beauty, towards your prosperity. With the elk spirit, the elk is one of the strongest totem animals to have. So during May, and that is when your full moon is, May is going to be a time of strength and of clear vision for you. Now, during this Libra full moon, as you are embracing the energy of Venus, as you are the warrior for the cause of your heart, you are going to see here that you're walking away from something that you once thought you would love. And it can be that things have happened, like so many things have happened, right? It can be being furloughed, it can be, just everything coming to a standstill, and you're looking at things and you're saying, wow, I'm reevaluating the way I'm moving forward. I'm reevaluating what is important to me. I'm reevaluating where I stand. And this has you walking away from something you once thought you would love, but doesn't fit you anymore. It's like trying to wear kind of like a favorite pair of shoes that now pinches your toes or something like that. And it's like, okay, I can't do this. I just can't. And it's because of this hermit time. It's because of this time where you have taken the light of divinity and you have focused your time inward and you have looked at your heart. And what I love here is that he has this deer right by his side. And in the Spirit Guide Animal cards, the deer says, move forward in gentleness. Do not forget gentleness. And there's a sense of bringing kindness back into the world. And you might say, oh, well, what does that have to do with anything? Kind people don't always get ahead. And when they say, oh, the meek shall inherit the world, I haven't seen that happening. And so there can be this frustration here. But there is this need of emotional, when you are seeing this frustration, it is calling forth an emotional imbalance, right? And Libra is all about, this Libra full moon is all about purging away those emotional imbalances so that you can move forward, okay, move away and be kind to yourself again. There's a little sparrow here in the corner. Now, sparrows are my favorite birds. And why is that? Because sparrows work together. They work in this family unit. And they can take down bigger birds of prey. So right here, you have the sparrow that can be completely overlooked. You have a cat right here, so you might be thinking, oh my gosh, you're going to be eaten, and what are you doing? But there's a sense here of power in numbers, power in emotional truth. And that's something that you're calling on. Again, the Hermit time frame, the Virgo time frame, is August 23rd to September 22nd. That is of importance. And here you are moving forward, you are seeing bounty, you are guided by a light that shines for you. Just like in May, your music plays for you, your soul's truth leads you forward. In April, you are going to see that the light of your soul guides you towards something greater, something more. And there is a severe need to listen to it. Because so often we go, oh, that doesn't make any sense, or oh, I'm not listening to myself, or this person knows more than me, so I'm definitely going to listen to them. And what this light is saying, what this internal kind of dialogue is saying, is listen to yourself. You have brilliant ideas, you have a brilliant sense of importance, and this leads you to temperance. This leads you to a balance and a beauty, and this is Sagittarian energy, November 22nd to December 21st. It's a very comfortable energy for you because, of course, Scorpio goes into Sagittarius, especially if you're a cusp baby. This is going to be very important energy where you see this balance coming in, where you start to ask yourself questions, see how you want to move forward, look at your place on this earthly plane, but also look at your spiritual knowledge, spreading your wings, learning how to fly, knowing that your angels are cocooning around you, saying you are protected, you are safe. And this moves you to the 10 of Wands. And the 10 of Wands is an end of a cycle. So 10 shows us that it is an end of a cycle. And the Wands are of the burdens that you have been carrying, also of the fact that you want to carry the burdens for other people. You want to sit there, especially in this Libra full moon. We can take it to the extreme, most definitely. Be like, oh, well, I'll carry this weight, and I'll carry this weight. And remember, this energy lasts from April 7th to May 7th. So from full moon to full moon. So you're going to have to kind of fight this instinct of, oh, I'll just do it. Oh, I'll just do it. Oh, I'll just help out. And you're going to justify it to yourself. It's like, wow, I'm being a really nice person. And it's not justifying, it's simply stating a fact, because you are. You're being a really nice person. But the more you do, the more they'll let you do. The more they let you do, the more you do. And then there comes this underlined resentment. And there comes this sense of feeling overwhelmed and feeling underappreciated. And nobody's filling up your cup. And so to step back and to say, you need to follow your path. I can help you, and I'm more than happy to help you. But you have to walk your road, and I will walk mine. And as I walk mine, I have enough to carry there. So carrying everybody else's burdens, trying to help everybody else out, and forgetting about yourself is going to be counterintuitive to this time. That's kind of why self-care is so important, to make sure that you are taking time to say, I matter, and I believe in me. And so here, then you start to put down the weight that you've been carrying. You start to put down the burdens that you have. And you start to look at them and say, well, how am I going to construct this? How am I going to move forward? Where is it that I want to be? And as you look at it, there's a radiance that is around you. There's a sense of love and of beauty and of, yes, being able to take care of things and take care of others, but also doing things that makes your heart shine, that makes your soul shine. And the fact of the matter is, this is at your roots. And this is what other people see of you, Scorpio. But you don't see it of yourself. The Nine of Cups is a bit tricky that way. I always see it as this beauty that other people are more than aware of and can kind of take advantage of. But we ourselves, we don't see it. It's like, what is going on here? Are you sure you're talking about me? So here, just know that at your roots, at the essence of your being, at the root of yourself, there is this radiant light. And this radiant light is of prosperity, love, joy. It's of everything that makes your heart sing and shine. And why is that important? Because you're a water sign energy. And also because I am of the firm belief that we are emotional beings. And as much as we would like to say, oh, we're logical beings, or we can reason everything out, or, oh, we transcend logic and emotion, and we can become something more, I find that one hard to believe. Not hard to believe, but hard to wrap my head around. I'm like, how do I envision that? To become something other than my emotions, to become something other than my logic. That one is hard for me to get. So I boil it down to the fact that I need to listen to my emotions. And sometimes you're having a rotten day, a rotten, no good, very bad day, and you just don't want to get out of bed. And that's perfectly okay, But here, it is saying, listen to your heart. Listen to your emotional self, because it will impact the way you speak. It will impact the way you interpret others. It will impact everything. It will impact everything. So by listening to your heart, listening to your soul, listening to yourself, and giving yourself that respect, and saying, okay, today I'm having a cranky day, or today I am filled with exuberance for what's to come, and today I am listening, and listening to how it changes. That is how you're going to know and let your heart shine for yourself. Not for everybody else, but for you, because that's really important during this time. It's not being selfish. It's not, sitting there and taking all this beauty just for yourself. It is saying, I am moving forward towards something extraordinary, and I have to know it. It's not fair if everybody else knows it and it's hidden from me. So as you bring everything into balance, that's what this moon is letting you see. It's letting you see that your angels are around you. It's letting you see that you're resurrecting yourself. You are rising to greatness. It lets you see that power is a part of you. It lets you see that you are coming out of darkness into light, into beauty, into success, into prosperity. And as you see it, you're like, oh my gosh, this can be me. And you're going to be a bit gobstopped. You're going to be a bit like, can this be me? Am I allowed to be like this? Because we're so used to the drudgery. We're so used to the endless cycle of the tiredness, the overwhelm, the never getting ahead. And yes, this can be you. And this is you. Let yourself shine, because the light is breathtaking. And as you shine, you have the Queen of Cups right here. This is you. You're going to be much more comfortable during this time behind the scenes. Embracing your love, embracing your light, embracing your beauty. And as you embrace it, you're like, wow, I have so much knowledge. I have so much beauty to give. You see here how she's clutching the book. The cup is before her, but she has a book, and she might have a sword right there or a pen. I'm not really sure. And what I love about this is it exudes peace. I'm a huge fan of medieval, early Renaissance art, which is what these cards are based off of. And I thought, oh, are these appropriate for this time? I was actually going for another deck. And yet the vibrational energy of these cards, the sense of picking them up, and they just were like, I need to be used. I was like, oh, okay. Oh, okay, you need to be seen. You need to be heard. There's something about simplistic peace that is moving us forward. But also, if you think of it, from medieval art to Renaissance art, you think of the Middle Ages, you think of medieval art and you think, ooh, bad time. Wouldn't like to be alive then. But then you can think of the Renaissance and you're like, wow, that was pretty cool. I mean, be it, I wouldn't like to be alive then anyway, but there's a shift in consciousness. Are we shifting our consciousness? Are we moving ourselves forward to a new Renaissance? Because I see a Renaissance for you. I see this new age of enlightenment and love and beauty and prosperity and power. And does it happen slow? Yes, everything happens slowly. Will it happen, and you'll just fly to new heights that you never believed right off the bat? You will fall first. If there's guarantee of anything, when you jump, you will fall. And you might be rubbish at it. You might be extremely bad at something when you first try. Or extremely terrified of it. But you build, you grow, you don't stop. And that's what I'm seeing here. You're drinking of the cup of inspiration. You're drinking of the cup of your emotional truth. And it leads you to feeling overwhelmed, to thinking, oh my gosh, I can't do this. To thinking no matter which way I turn, I'm going to wind up, kind of screwing myself, like not getting where I want to be. And your mind is going to talk you out of it and give you 18 million really good reasons on why you shouldn't try. Don't listen. Because once you take the blindfold off, you see there are swords there, there are swords there. But you can walk past them. You are free. And it's just coming to that realization. It's getting out of your own way. It's moving past the doubts, the fears, and the chaos of our minds. And that leads you to turning inward. Because turning inward and embracing this beauty opens you up to new power, new possibilities, and being guided by your angels. Saying, there's a higher power that is guiding me. I am listening. It's going to be liberating and exhilarating, and it leads you towards success, but it also leads you towards wanting to celebrate yourself. Not in a narcissistic, overindulgent way, okay? Because you remember the myth of Narcissus. Narcissus, he was looking at himself in a lake, and he was like, oh my gosh, I've never seen anybody so beautiful. I'm awesome. And then he leaned in to get a better look, and to get a better look, and then he fell in, and he drowned in the lake. He drowned in his love for his own beauty. And then in some of the tales it says the lake wept because nobody was ever going to worship the lake the same way that Narcissus did. Narcissus, yeah. So here, there is that sense. There is that sense of not being egotistical, but saying, I've done a gosh darn good job. And I can celebrate myself. I can move myself forward. I can go after what I want and what I need. And I don't have to, sit there and say, oh no, it was this other person who needs the success, or who gets to be honored for it, or I could always do better. Because if you succeed and you never give yourself a pat on the back, it's kind of like having that boss that when you do a really good job, doesn't say, wow, you did a really good job, keep up the good work, but says, wow, I expect better sales next time, or I expect more next time. If you could do this, now you have to push it out there. And that makes you feel discouraged. And we don't want to be discouraging ourselves. So here, Scorpio, it is saying, celebrate you. Make sure you take time to celebrate you. And even if you feel like you've had a crap day, even if you feel like I've done nothing right, look at things and stop and look at things and say, well, I did do that right. I did do that right. And even if you have to kind of like pull teeth to get there, start celebrating yourself. It really will move you forward. It really will become something that lifts you up, that, makes you feel really good about yourself. And then it brings you to the magician. You start to see that you have this infinite power. And it's not that you're going to be able to be kind of like an alchemist and turn, lead into gold. But it's that you're looking within yourself and you're seeing that golden light within you, the golden light of the universe, the golden light of your power, of your truth, of your emotional abundance. And you're standing before the altar of your existence. And what I love here is that you have eternal prosperity, right? And you have all the animals around you. You have the ones with the purest sight around you. That sit there and say, okay, listen, I'm not being, won over by how fancy your car is or how big your house is. I want to know you. And as you shine bright, those who really care about the essence of things will be drawn to you. And the magician is being able to manifest within your world what you want. And it leads you to putting down your burdens and embracing this new cycle. And it leads you to following your own light, following your power. You have the repeat of the number 9. The number 9 shows that you are close to a completion of a cycle as you turn towards your inner light, as you celebrate yourself. The doubt and the fear, because this is right in the middle of this line, right here, sandwiched in between, in the middle of your sandwich of success, is doubt, is fear, is, oh my gosh, I can't do this, is how am I going to move forward? Where is it that I'm going to be? Look at all the times you failed. Why do you even think? What gives you the nerve to think you can succeed? And those nasty, nasty voices that we would never say to strangers, but yet we say it to ourselves. And you're breaking free of that. You're seeing your power because you are a queen. You are a queen. You are a ruler. You are the monarch of your kingdom. And as you embrace that, you embrace power and you embrace balance. And it lights your way. Let's see what the moon has to say. How will Scorpio be affected by the April 2020 full moon? How will Scorpio be affected by the April 2020 full moon? How will Scorpio be affected by the April 2020 full moon? Show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly. All right. How will Scorpio be affected by the April 2020 full moon? How will Scorpio be affected by the April 2020 full moon? How will Scorpio be affected by the April 2020 full moon? Oh, goodness. Show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly. Strong Sagittarius energy here. All right, I like this. I like this a lot. What's really funny is that where I saw your light shining in is I saw this card. I saw this card of resilience and release and of putting down burdens. And it very much, states here what the 10 of Wands is saying. You're releasing something to achieve so much more. And as you do so, abundance becomes a part of you. And again, you have the animals around you, clear-sightedness around you. So you are walking away from something that isn't right for you anymore. And you're walking into abundance, walking into power and beauty and prosperity. And it leads you to the new moon in Leo. It says confidence is your key to success. And that is your inner light, is your confidence, is your connection with the divine, is your connection with the universe as you are moving forward. And be confident as you step, but step gently. Step gently and move forward in a ferocity of spirit, in a sense of power and brilliance. And who said, walk gently but carry a big stick? Was that Roosevelt? I think it was. So here, you're carrying that big stick. You're able to protect yourself as you walk in kindness and as you embrace your light, your truth. And it's resilience and resistance here, because people are going to try and talk you out of it. People are going to sit there and, okay, so just to backtrack just a bit, it's not to walk away from your responsibilities. It's not to say, I'm really resentful of this or that, and I'm just going to just leave and start anew. It's saying, okay, I have responsibilities. I have people who rely on me and who care about me. If you do, and if you are saying, Dane, that's not, I'm like all alone, it's remembering your angels are with you. It's remembering that there is a power greater than you guiding you forward. And your resistance, your resilience is what's leading you. It's like, I'm holding on and I'm growing my dream through the power of my grip, through the power of my balance within myself. My spiritual and my practical balance leads me forward, guides me to greater. And it leads you to the new moon in Aries. It's time to take action. It is. It's time to stop. It's time to stop carrying the burdens for everybody else, or putting so many burdens upon your shoulder that there is no clear sight. And action feels like, okay, I can't take action. I'm just keeping my head above water. I have so much upon my shoulders. I have so much that needs to be done. I'm drowning in, work, expectations, everything. How do I move forward? And Aries says, the new moon in Aries says, it's time to take action. It's time to put down your burdens and see what you want. And start with one. Start with picking up one bundle, one tree, and planting it. One seed of intention and planting it. And changing the course of your whole entire life. By saying, now it's time to take action. Now it's time to get serious. It might say, Dana, I'm already serious about this. And yeah, you are. But now it's time to be this unstoppable force, this fantastic cheerleader for your success. And believe it. Because it leads you to your resilience. Your resistance, your resilience, they're like one and the same. You've been carrying the world tree on your back. You've been carrying your endless potential on your back. Now it's time to plant it. And that's why it's time to take action. Because it's time to plant and let your light shine. Let your beauty and your power shine. Because in this full moon in Libra, the compassion of Libra is bringing the world into balance. And the sun becomes important to us because the moon reflects the sun's light. And as the moon reflects the sun's light, it brings forth the reflection of passion and power. But calmer, gentler passion and power. And that is what you yourself are reflecting, Scorpio. Passion, power, but also gentleness and kindness. And it's not the brutality of the sun. Just think of being in the middle of the desert when the sun comes up. It's like, oh my gosh, your shoes can start to melt. Your skin starts to burn. And the moon is soothing. The moon is calming. But you need the balance of the two, because if you're in the desert, the moon can also be, when the moon comes up, the world gets super cold. And so you are that balance. You are that reflection of that warmth and of the coolness. You are the balance of the earth. And as you embrace that energy and that understanding, it moves you to the new moon in Sagittarius. Luck is on your side, as the angels are with you, as you are guided and led forward to something greater, something more. As you are protected and cocooned, luck is on your side, Scorpio, and it leads you to growth. It leads you to sitting there and saying, you know what, this is my time. This is my renaissance. This is my way to move forward, and this is my time to move forward. And as you embrace this, you have the full moon in Virgo, which says you are good enough. Now, I don't mean that condescendingly, and the cards don't mean this condescendingly at all. That when I read it the first time, I was like, okay, you're good enough. That's a bit rude. But it's saying you're good enough. You are enough. Here, with the Eight of Swords, and it's a powerful message paired with the Eight of Swords, because the Eight of Swords is saying, oh, you can always do better. Like, you think you're good enough? Seriously? Like, have you seen you? That's what it's saying in that condescending, kind of like, I want to smack it voice. And what you're looking at yourself now, and it's like, no, I'm enough. Where I stand right now, yeah, I'm seeking improvement. I want to move forward. But I am not going to sit there and berate and belittle myself and say, oh, because I'm not perfect, I'm never going to be able to amount to anything. I'm good enough. I am here now. I forget the psychologist that used this as his cornerstone. I mean, Maya Angelou uses this in her poetry all the time. You are enough. Do not let the mind trick you into saying you're not. Because yes, you might be doing things where you sit there and you think, oh my God, I should be doing more. I should be moving forward. But set up small, obtainable goals to move forward in, to guide you to greatness in. Because as you do so, as you realize that you are enough, your confidence grows and is the key to your success. If you are apologetic for your existence, people are going to sit there and be like, oh wow, I'm going to listen to you. So here it's like being confident, being assured, because then luck is on your side. It starts to change everything. And it leads you, quite literally, to change. And here she's like changing the course of the moon. So it can be changing what seemed unchangeable, which seemed like it would forever be. And then you start moving forward in success and beauty because you are incorporating and embracing these changes into your life. It leads you to looking at the bigger picture by the full moon in Sagittarius. And it leads you to embracing your magic, standing before the altar of your existence, as above, so below, as you think it, so it becomes. As you imagine, as you envision, so you live. Which leads you to taking action and having confidence. Your subconscious message for this time is the 10 of Cups. You have the repeat of the number 10 here. It's a completion of a cycle. But also the 10 of Cups is my minor arcana wish card. Wishes are granted. Beauty comes in. Love, joy, prosperity of the heart that lasts for generations. It's like the things that are the most important to you become abundant within your life. Become a part of your soul and yourself because you're changing so much, because you are so empowered. And it leads you to the energy gaining momentum. As the energy in your life gains momentum, as the power of your heart and your truth gains momentum, you move, here, to the masculine. You move to the action. You move to the sense of purpose of self. You move to the heat of the sun. And you move to the sense of defending what is yours on this earthly plane. Yeah, this is the lunar god. You move towards the cycle of this moon, bringing forth a godlike message to you, a divine message to you. All right, Scorpio, I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you, and I hope you're keeping yourselves safe and healthy. I love you all. Bye. Have a blessed moon. Bye.